Welcome to Cauldron Reviews. This series of videos is going to be about making one of us discover a game he's never played before. And today we'll be focusing on Halo Reach, a very green game. I thought it was going to be a different type of game. I'm used to playing Metal Gear Solid, and there's a lot of cutscenes, a lot of story in the game, and here it was a lot of shooting. And I can see the amusement in it. I thought it would be more story-driven, and the story didn't come out much in my view.
Since it's your first game of Halo that you saw, some random questions just to see.
Tell me.
Do you remember a lot about the game?
I remember you shooting a lot of people.
So, what do you remember about the game in general? Like the characters, even if you say you don't remember, it's fine. The name of the armor, the name of the city where they tried to help the civilians evacuate. Tell me the things that you remember or that stood out for you in the game.
What stood out for me?
Yeah, and not only because it's green.
It was very green.
Green like what?
Oh, a super green. And it's gonna be like green.
Wait.
This one. It's a bit landscapes and all.
Oh, boy.
Not the armor necessarily. So there was a guy with blue armor.
Lieutenant,
Commander, sir.
I'm Carter, Noble Team's leader. That's Kat, Noble 2, Emil and George 4 and 5. You're riding with me, Noble 6.
And he was piloting some ship or something. And you told me
Cat is blue.
to look at the window in front of him because he was shot.
It's been an honor, sir.
Likewise. I'll do what I can to draw their fire. 6. That AI chose you. She made the right choice.
I think you were speaking at that time, because the cutscene is clear when he gets shot.
Oh, I didn't see it.
That's why I didn't understand why he had
No,
to
I
explain.
No, I didn't see it then.
So tell me, what did you think about the armors, the weapons, the environment? What stood out the most for you in the game?
I didn't discover much things I haven't seen before because I already knew what the armors looked like. You have a guy there, a green man, right there. I've seen him. It isn't because I haven't played the game that I don't know what he looks like.
Yeah.
And when we played in multiplayer, in local multiplayer, I've already seen those weapons. A lot of them. I recognized a few.
Okay.
And I knew there were the little aliens with the shields. I already saw that.
Alright.
The buggy, the car. I saw that also in the first game. So there's nothing that really stood out as something I've never seen. You know, that caught my eye.
What did you remember about the story? When it started and where it ended?
Okay, so the story is you have an invasion of aliens on some planet called Reach. And apparently they're in some kind of war with the armored people, green armored people. And the green armored people, to counter this invasion, they send 4 or 5 armored green people to fight them all. And they win. Because they save Cortana.
And what if we can't?
An apt question, if there were somewhere else to place our hope. There is not.
For future games, for future Halo games, pay more attention, because in the game, everything that they're gonna say is part of the story. It's not just fillings.
Yeah.
It's really part of the story. So instead of having a lot of cutscenes, there's a lot of moments they say important things during the game.
I got good news and bad news.
This bird took some fire and our thruster gimbal is toast, which means the only way off this slag heap is gravity.
And the good news?
That was the good news.
Yeah, but that's also something I wanted to mention here. There's so much just shooting or gameplay. There's so much gameplay that at some point you just disconnect from the story. You forgot what was said like half an hour ago, and then it comes back and you don't really care. You're just waiting for the next.
But that's maybe because we made a speed run. So instead of taking the time to really wait, observe the scenery, hear what they're saying, we try to finish the game as quick
I'm not
as
sure
possible.
about that because doing a speed run means there's less gameplay. You don't spend 4 hours in this checkpoint place. You know?
But if you play the game normally, there's a moment when they're going to be speaking of something around you. And when you play normally, you're going to hear what they say, you're going to stop, you're going to look around, try and understand what they're talking about. And here we didn't take the time. We tried to finish the game as quick as possible to give you a big overview of the game. So there's a lot of... I don't remember exactly where, but I remember it happened. There's a moment when Christian stopped and looked at the sky to show your ship. And it's because he knew that the ship was going to be destroyed, but he didn't know when. And he looked at and I knew he looked at that moment. But when you're playing the game, you take more time to see what's around you
and
appreciate it and make the links to what is said. For me, Halo Reach is still one of the best games in the franchise, but it's a game in itself. There won't be any links to the rest. So if you think you're going to learn more about this story and the rest of the... we don't know what's in Halo Infinite, so at least until the 5th, you won't learn anything. It's going to be centered around Master Chief and Cortana and other big plots.
Listen, Reach has been good to me. Time has come to return the favor. Don't deny me this. Tell him to make it count.
It's maybe normal that for you it wasn't really story-driven because since it's Halo Reach, it's a prequel to Halo 1, where normally most players...
I was under the impression that the Halo games were, when I say story-driven, means a lot of cutscenes, a lot of story, a lot of character development, and here I didn't see really any of that.
That thing's crushing us and we're waiting for backup. They'll be backing up a graveyard.
All our nukes are either out system or went down with the ships that carried them. You're preaching to the converted.
How converted?
I know that look, Kat.
You can say no.
No.
So Halo is known to be a first-person shooter. It's the game that made first-person shooters interesting on consoles. There's a big story arc. So each game you'll have a part of the story, but each part is intertwined with what you already know.
Yeah, but in the other games, you have more...
It's going to be the same thing.
Oh, so it's a lot of shooting
for me,
very...
Halo Reach is one of the most story-driven Halo games.
Well, I don't agree with Paul here.
Why?
I mean, I remember there were more cutscenes to explain what was going on.
I've played all the games. Christian has played all the FPS games.
Yeah.
He hasn't played Halo Wars or Halo Wars 2. So we know the games, but we strongly disagree. But this is a great talking point for future videos, because Dave is gonna discover all the Halo games. What Christian said, for me, is it could be exactly the same thing he would say on Halo 1 at the time. We didn't know what was happening. Like here, he doesn't know what's happening in Halo Reach.
Or maybe you both have bad memories. I imagine that it was more like Metal Gear, where there's really a lot of storytelling inside one game.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy? We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Halo Reach is like Rogue One. It's something that wasn't necessary, but it's a good addition to the entire story.
In this game, there's a little less story-driven characters or character development or story development.
Yes, because it's simply focused on a group of people on one planet. It's a lot of mystery, we don't know what's going on.
I don't want to compare this to Rogue One, because Rogue One, even if you've never seen Star Wars, you can understand what's happening, you can understand the motivations of everyone, you can understand there's a bad guy, a good guy, and you know where they're coming from a bit.
Okay.
You even see the motivations of the bad guys and how they everything plays.
Yeah, because it's explained.
Yeah, but here it's
here, like, in the game it was explained.
Yes, everything was explained in the games.
I mean,
but Dave needs cutscenes to understand what's happening.
No.
You know the reason why the aliens were on the planet? They explained it, but we didn't hear it. It's a group of elite soldiers that go on a planet to stop a rebellion. It's not a rebellion, it's an invasion. And they have to safeguard all that top secret information and leave the planet. So it's an action spy film.
Okay, so where do these people in armor come from?
Where do the rebels come from? It's exactly the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. As I said, it's a movie, standalone. Everything's well explained. There's character development, there's story development. But here it was lacking so much that you only have questions and you start not caring about what's going on because there's not enough to make you care.
Well, I think that's why I say, and that's why I want to continue. I think he would have appreciated more if there was more information about each character, like that.
Yeah.
When he saw them, spoiler alert, die, he would have given more emotions to it. Like when we saw the characters of Rogue One.
The guy with the mask with like a pattern on his mask, on his helmet. When he dies.
Emil.
Who is he? Correctly. Here, what do you know about the girl in blue?
Cat.
Catherine. What's her story? Where does she come from? Who is she? I don't know. Do you know?
No.
Okay. The character you're playing. Who is he? Where does he come from? What's his character? Who is he?
He's a lone ranger that started to work as a team.
That's why I took the example of Rogue One specifically, because Rogue One was an unnecessary movie, but it's a good addition. We didn't know how they got the plans, but they made an entire movie to show how we got the plans. The point of this game was to show a prequel with some characters where the point was not really to know them perfectly or have more information, it was to show a story with a group of people that are unknown, like many soldiers in war, we don't know their names, they died, but they all have a story to tell, and here was the point of the game.
Character development doesn't mean they have a backstory. It means that during the period of time where you get to see the character, you get to know a little bit about them.
Yeah.
In my case, during I don't know how long was the film Rogue One, at the end of the film, I didn't absolutely care nothing for any of the characters.
Yeah, but that's not my point. For me, there was character development.
That's what I said. It's what we're saying.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
But I don't agree with you that there was here. I don't agree with you.
Can we agree to disagree?
Yes.
and just to make a point, I didn't bring up Rogue One. He did. Okay.
No, but he's right. It's a good example.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Half of the people liked it, and half of the people didn't like it.
I'm not talking about liking or disliking. I'm talking about creating a world or characters or an environment that you start caring about because it's developed. You can not care about it even if it is developed. My point is that here it wasn't, and in Rogue One it was. I think that's the main main disagreement. I think there's no character development here. There was in Rogue One or another movie or whatever, but for you it's the opposite.
Just to finish on this point, and to go back to Halo Reach.
Yes, you can continue your question.
Yes. All right. What do you know about Cortana? What was the point of her in the game?
It was an unknown technology, an AI, that was buried underground. And the team of noble men, heroes, men and women,
Thank you for sharing.
Had a mission to evacuate personnel and civilians from the planet. But then there was a secondary mission that was hidden from, I guess, the high command or something like that. And the secondary mission was to capture this AI so that the aliens didn't take it first.
You want to know if we're losing?
I know we're losing. I want to know if we've lost.
Alright. Do you remember the ship where they had to deliver Cortana. Do you remember the name?
It was big fat grey ship.
Okay.
Egg ship.
Okay. Do you remember the name of the doctor?
Dr. Halsey.
It was Mother.
Or, yeah, okay.
That was her name.
Okay.
Mom,
What have you done with my armor?
just some additions I've made.
Indeed.
When you saw the gameplay, the story, did you feel anything special except that it was all green? Like there wasn't any point where you were involved, where, for example, the evacuation of the civilians or seeing each one of the characters die. Did you feel absolutely nothing? You had nothing to say about it? Didn't you feel that it was interesting, or
I was waiting for something.
like what?
I was waiting to see Green Man, but I didn't see him.
Okay. The UNSC, you heard that many times in the game.
It was on their helmets and on their and on the ships.
Okay. The UNSC means the United Nations Space Command.
Okay.
Alright, like that. But you have to remember that because it's gonna come in every game.
It's the human green people. What's Halo?
It's a ring.
The name of the game is Halo Reach.
Where are the halos?
In the end of the game.
In the space.
Why is the game named Halo if there are no halos in the game?
Oh, yes, at the end of the game there's a halo.
There's one halo at the end of the game.
Yes,
And
maybe you
that's-
weren't looking at that
And that's
moment.
the Halo moment of the Halo game.
That's the Halo Reach. The story is a prequel. It's when the story starts.
What's a halo?
That you'll
It's a
discover
ring.
in the you'll discover.
It's a ring.
Yeah, it's a ring that you'll discover in the first game that you will play soon.
Okay.
Okay, we won't say anything. No spoilers like last time. Okay. There isn't much I can say more about this. You saw the battle, you saw the story, and you didn't remember everything or didn't pay attention maybe. A few times you add or to add, because that's basically it. There's nothing more to say. So we just finished talking about Halo Reach, and now we're gonna play Halo 1.
And then Sleepy Hello.
Yes, Sleepy Halo. Bye!